Peace. Salam alaikum wa rahmatullah to Ryu Ken, B2K. Um Shalom to the brother Wise Nubian and to the cat J Ryder. I see how passionate you are on the topic. I ain't really trying to debate with you guys. I just wanted to chime in and add my little 2 cents to the situation. Basically, I've been in all circles from a lot of the cats right there in New York. Grew up Baptist, converted to Islam at 20, and fell off my deen a year later. Got back on around 28, 29. Anyway, long story short, man, I came to the realization over the past 6 months, man, that it's true enough to be said that spirituality is just something that's always been. You take the Bible, the Quran, the Torah, and what you have is just how you view it. If you stay into one book, your one book could be that square. Like the Quran could be the square, the Bible could be a triangle, the Old Testament could be, the Torah could be a rectangle. You master your habitat and see everything in it, that's what you're going off of, that book. Until you finally venture out to see all 3 books and see the contradictions, the misinterpretations, and all that type of stuff, you really have no leeway on telling anybody anything. This is something that I finally realized because, truth be told, the Quran has its pieces of, question marks just as much as all the other books. And understand that the prophets let me correct that. The prophets were their Quran, were their Bible. If a person believes in the prophets, then they understand that they walked with it, they talked it. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, he talked it. The recitation, the reading, Gabriel told him to read. When we do the same thing, we'll find out a lot more discrepancies, man. Seriously, if somebody's mastering their square, trying to tell somebody has mastered their triangle on what they believe in, then it's just all it is belief. We can all look at the sky all together and be like, okay, well, I see it as blue. That person sees it as green. That person sees it as purple. But still in all, if it's what they believe, that's just what it is, belief. I know for a fact, though, you cannot argue with history. You cannot argue with facts. I hear the brother Ryu Ken talking about, pagan worship and, influences from the Greeks and the Romans. Do you know the meaning of Kaaba? Do you know the essence of the Ka and the Ba? I think you should go ahead and check that out, man. The same thing goes for in the Quran where it talks about, we are to respect the Jews, the Christians, and the Sabians. Did you ever look into the research on who the Sabians were? There's a Sabian spelled with an E-N and an A-N. And basically one studied astrology, the others, prayed 5 times a day, the exact same times that Muslims pray. Now, like I said, I'm not here to debate people or come across disrespectful because religion is a beautiful thing for that person that stays humble and they're able to reach a higher form of discipline. That's what I got going through with Islam. But the reason why I went ahead and considered myself just to myself is the fact that I finally realized that God is all of us. He is all of us, and He has always been. Speaking of Sudan, you know about that African queen that fought off the Romans back in the day. And in the Bible, and the Quran and the Torah, it speaks of and justifies slavery. The Most High creates all to have their own part of this existence. For any book to justify slavery, it's beyond me. Now, as far as the whole thing with the Quran, it talks about women with big eyes being chained down for men's desire. I don't know if you ever sat back and thought about that, but that sounds kind of off to me. Because if you're going to say that the hereafter is something that's unexplainable to a human to to a human eye and all that, why are you speaking on women with big eyes? That sounds like a man's interpretation there. And there's nothing about women in there, but yet a woman is just to be humble and self-preserved and, covering and everything. And I don't condone the whole outlook of, okay, well, let's just go ahead and show off our bodies. Nah, everybody should have some form of respect, self-respect to themselves. But what happens to the woman when she passed? Which her spirit just becomes one of those women with big eyes chained down? I mean, it's stuff like that you got to think about, man. As long as you're going off of belief and you're not backing it up with facts in the sense of going off of your history, seeing how the Arabs came through, basically ransacked that little part of Africa, got people to convert or be killed, and then they went and took the same Africans that they just converted and had them use them as missionaries, from the Shiites to the Sunnis, the Sufis. Like, yo, man, like, seriously, man, brother, just do your research, man. Like, before you speak on anything pagan, seriously, I seriously think you should go ahead and do your own research, man, and thoroughly do it to the square root. Because if you don't know what a Kaaba is, and you don't realize that those quote unquote pagans were worshiping old Egyptian idols, then you're never going to really get the true essence of what's really going on, man. You're not going to come to the understanding of just how much they twisted up these books, man. Me personally, I'm like, if a person is believing in the prophets, then you live like how the prophets live. When Muhammad was alive, he wasn't going around taking over territories and, decapitating people. The Arabs don't speak enough on the first pilgrimage right down into Ethiopia. They don't talk enough about that. You know what I'm saying? They don't talk enough about the fact that there's a very good chance that the prophet was black, going off of his descendancy off of Ishmael. But I'm not even, like I said, I'm not trying to debate people. I'm just trying to open up a few eyes for a lot of other brothers that may come from Christianity and convert to Islam and not really understand or truly see everything else that went ahead with it. Because however you find things to be, just go off of your history, man. I hear you talking about the Mahdi, and I was thinking the same thing. But think about it, man. The Mahdi got those tribes together to unify, to fight those Europeans, man. And the 3.5, 4 years that he was alive and leading them, they never lost a battle. That's spirituality at its best right there. So regardless if he was self-proclaimed or not, he rolled the way he had to roll, and those people believed in him, just like the people believed in Muhammad. Now, definitely best of wishes to all people involved, man. Like I said, if I come across disrespectful in any way to anybody's faith, that's my apology. That was not my intention. I just really wanted to shine some light on things that a lot of people are still in the dark about. At the same time, if you just stuck on your belief, then you can believe all you want. I mean, there's still grown-ups that believe in Santa Claus, but, a belief is a belief. Fact is fact. History does not lie, man. At the end of the day, people of color, if you ain't looking to unite and finally see things for what they are, it'll end up being the same thing over and over again, man, where the people, the powers that be, whether they be European or pale Arabs or whatever, they are going to still look at you as a colored Muslim, a colored Christian, a colored Hebrew. I mean, if you don't really see that, by now you never will, man. At the same time, best of wishes to all people, peace.